Iran after Pahlavi Dynasty. The Pahlavi dynasty seeks to impose secular top-down modernization. Land reforms are intended to create a modern industrial state. Aggressive programs seek to bypass traditional feudal structures. Disrupted rural economies lead to mass migration into urban centers. Perceived subservience to the West fuels a narrative of Westoxification. Political dissent is suppressed, alienating the burgeoning urban middle class. Diverse groups coalesce under the leadership of Ayatollah Khomeini. In 1978, public outrage reaches a boiling point following a tragic arson. Martial law is imposed as mass demonstrations sweep the capital. In January 1979, the monarch flees, effectively ending Pahlavi rule. The Ayatollah returns from exile as the Regency Council collapses. On February 11, 1979, the monarchy falls, and the military declares neutrality. In March 1979, 98% of the population reportedly approves the new system. The clerical class quickly sidelines its former allies to consolidate control. Khomeinism frames the struggle as a global resistance against Western imperialism. His synthesis of Marxism and Islam mobilizes a generation of revolutionaries. Shia Islam is transformed into a religion of active resistance. The concept of Vilayat-e-Faqih, guardianship of the jurist, is institutionalized. An unelected leader is granted vast powers over the military and judiciary. This body serves as the system's primary ideological filter. The council ensures only those loyal to the regime can reach the ballot. While the parliament proposes laws, its output is subject to clerical approval. A labyrinthine network of elected and unelected bodies defines the state. The theocratic apex remains the ultimate authority in the Iranian system. In 1980, Saddam Hussein launches an invasion, creating an existential threat. The regime purges thousands of officers to ensure military loyalty. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps rises as a parallel military force. Iran cultivates regional proxies to confront threats beyond its borders. Modern strategic doctrines emerge from the 8-year crucible of war. The conflict paradoxically helps the new regime consolidate its internal authority. The regime shifts to a state-managed theocratic oligarchy. Charitable foundations evolve into massive, non-transparent conglomerates. These foundations control up to 20% of Iran's GDP, reporting only to the leader. Iran relies almost entirely on China for over 90% of its crude oil exports. Decades of sanctions hamper the oil-dependent entity's fiscal stability. The military expands its reach into every sector of the Iranian economy. The state prioritized rural gains, extending basic services to thousands of villages. National health pushes increased life expectancy from 55 to over 77 years. Mass education campaigns achieve significant human development milestones. Gains have produced a paradox. A population more educated than the economy can support. Systemic precarity faces those with modern aspirations and high qualifications. Post-revolutionary laws lowered the age of marriage and revoked family protections. Legal regression initially prevents women from entering certain professions. Education unintentionally opened doors for remarkable female social mobility. Women successfully pushed to return to fields like medicine and law. Domestic opposition shifts from internal reform toward deeper political demands. Economic grievances unify the urban poor against the ruling establishment. Plummeting birth rates pose a long-term challenge to the social security system. The 2022 Woman Life Freedom protests demand fundamental civil change. Compulsory veiling becomes a primary driver of the push for a post-Islamist future. The movement unites varied social strata in a total rejection of the current order. Despite conflicts, the axis of resistance rearms and adapts. The proxy network sustains itself through a resilient gray zone economy. The currency reaches record lows of 1.45 million per US dollar in late 2025. Public sentiment reaches an all-time low as alienation from the state grows. There is a notable rise in pro-monarchy sentiment among those seeking a new path. The systemic foundations of the 1979 order, appear increasingly brittle. The looming succession crisis adds to a period of profound national uncertainty. The state maintains control through a powerful security apparatus, despite its fragile status. The legacy of 1979 is increasingly challenged by a population seeking a new future.